Hi, hello, and everyone. Hey, this is Shiva here. I wanted to walk you through OI Pulse. I think this has been hot of the week for the entire team, and you guys have been looking for a manual or a video or something on how to use the OI Pulse. Okay, here we go. You are going to get the answers for everything on what are the things which you needed to know about our OI Pulse tool. First and foremost thing, you can register and log in using the oipulse.com, which is at the URL here. So it's a web based app. So currently we are not providing it as a tool or anything. So it'll be like a web based app. So you'll be able to access the web app through oipulse.com. And the first and foremost thing, once you make the plan and payment and everything, you will be able to directly take into the dashboard page. Okay, so if you wanted to know your plan and other things, currently there are no plans available currently, as you guys have been told. We are in the process of testing with the limited number of users. Soon you will be having a lot of users who will be able to access it. Just give us some time. We are like right in the testing phase, and we wanted to ensure that we have stability as we scale up. That's the reason we have not provided the plans, but we will be adding the plans as and when we feel that the stability of the system has improved and we are able to take more load. Okay, let's look at the data now. What are the important things which our tool is going to provide you? Guys, let me tell you, this is just a start, and you are going to see a lot more features getting added in the coming weeks and months, because when we initially started, we just wanted to like be sure what are the basic features that is really necessary for all the users who are going to be trading in the FNO, like especially the index derivatives market. And that is something which we have concentrated upon. The first tab which is available here is a dashboard. Okay, on the dashboard, what we have provided, most of the things which I teach in the webinar is about connecting the dots. So when I say connecting the dots, you needed to know how you needed to connect it with the world markets and so on. So in order to do that, what we have done, we have included the Dow futures, we have included the Nifty 50 futures, we have also included the Bank Nifty, and most important thing, the one of the other dot is like India VIX, which we have included it here because this is going to be very, very vital as well. And most importantly, once we have the crude and INR, USD INR playing a vital role, and this is going to be very crucial for the Bank Nifty and Nifty play during the day in case if the crude is going to be climbing up, and USD INR, when the INR depreciates or appreciates, it's going to have a direct correlation with our Bank Nifty as well. So that's the reason we have included all of them in the first one. This is powered by investing.com again. So moving on from that page, the next one, the most crucial one, the futures. When I talk about the futures, what are the key things which we have added here? The first one is foremost is the OI analysis. When we talk about OI analysis, currently we have provided for index, Bank Nifty and Nifty, because these are the two highly traded index at this current juncture. That's the reason we have included only index, Bank Nifty and Nifty. And apart from that, coming to the stocks, we have included all the Nifty 50 stocks. You should be able to get the data for all the Nifty 50 future stocks here. But in the future, we will be trying to add all the FNO future stocks here. Okay, so let's quickly look at Bank Nifty first. Once you click on the Bank Nifty, by default, it'll take today's date. So whatever the date on which it was trading, you will be able to see it. But if you're starting on a fresh day, you just needed to select it once the market opened. After the first minute, you should be able to see the data. So once the market opens at 9:15, from 9:16, once you just select Nifty or Bank Nifty, it'll automatically ask you to choose the date, and by default you will be getting the latest date. So currently we are trying to provide at least like a 2 weeks worth of data here, but in case if we feel that the system is going to slow down a bit and so on, we might archive the data, and we are trying to see whether we can have the historical data separately. But at this juncture, for the futures, we are trying to provide currently 2 weeks. Maybe a week data will definitely be tried to be provided. Okay, so currently by default you're getting today's date, which is like 8th of September 2020, and by default you will be getting this time interval as like 5 minutes. Though the data is getting captured minute by minute, it'll be too much of information that we needed to put it across here on like a 1 or 2 or 3 minute time frame. But this particular tool is definitely going to help you to determine how you can see the data getting populated on every 5 minute or 10 minute or 15 minute, 30 minute and 60 minute time frame. But most commonly used for the intraday traders is like between 5 and 15. But why do we have like all other time frames? We have other time frames because some of the positional traders will look for like how the positionally I can take carry forward a position and so on. That's the reason we have also shown 15, 30 and 60 as well. Okay, so by default it has populated the data for today. What we have done, in case if you are seeing like some of the data is getting like a hidden over here on the right side, all you needed to do is, do you see an icon here? Just given like a small tab on that one and you will see it is getting shrinking. Okay, so we have collapsed it, and in case if you wanted to see the full data and the menu available, you can use that option, or you can just click on this button and it will automatically shrink and you will see a bigger data on the picture. Okay, talking about this page, so currently we are seeing like a 5 minute time frame, and look at the data, it has more than like 75 rows. So in case if you wanted to see all the data in a single page, all you needed to do is just click on that 75 and you should be able to see the data right from beginning till 3:30. All you needed to do was just scroll up. So why does we needed to look at like a 5 minute, 15 minute and 30 minutes? For me to take a trade, 5 minutes is more than sufficient to understand what is happening in that particular 5 minutes. But in order to see like in larger time frame how the market has been faring today, how it was faring in the first hour, how it was faring in the second hour, that will give me a set and a trend for the whole day. That is the reason we have included different time frames. We will quickly look at how was the day here. Do we see on a larger time frame any kind of a short buildup today? Nothing. Why? People been accumulating the bank nifty right from the morning, and what happened in the late afternoon is purely mostly it was like a long unwinding of the people who have been carrying the position in the morning. But unfortunately, look at the kind of drop which is having a major impact. But look at this data now. Okay, in case if I wanted to decode this data for tomorrow's morning trade, how will I decode it? This is for the positional players, right? Look at this from the morning when the second the second 1 hour wherein we had a OI change of like 67,000, and look at the volume that got traded compared to the first one, it was almost double. So the people wherein the maximum activity happened is between 9:30 and 10:30, and to beat that we needed some volume to be happening, right? And look at this, what was not convincing to me is though the people were adding long position, look at the price action here. It was getting a supply at higher level. That is clearly evident. Though in the first like a 1 hour, you see a huge open interest change, but we didn't see a huge movement in the prices. But here, even with like a 67,000, look at the price, almost like 60 rupees now. Okay, but after that we didn't see much of activity wherein like the longs were getting supply at higher levels, so they were trying to take it, but somehow the sellers were like pumping in the money and they were trying to take the market down. They were not letting it to go higher. But that has proved to be a detrimental factor for the bulls. What they done, they were not able to confidently take the market higher. And look at the way when the profit booking came in, they were not worried about anything, they just wanted to exit their position. And that's what has happened in the last 2 hours. And look at the way the prices has fallen. This is very scary for me. If someone is looking for like in carrying a long position for tomorrow, they will definitely look at this with the kind of huge supply that came in like towards the late end of the day. Definitely some of the longs will be definitely be worried carrying home an overnight position. So looking at this data, if I'm looking at a positional like a player, I will definitely be not interested to take a long trade for tomorrow. Okay, so this is how I would do a quick overview of a 60-minute time frame. But if I'm looking for a 15-minute time frame, the data will vary. Why? Because every 15 minutes, number of positions that getting created and so on will vary. This is the most crucial factor for me. Look at this. Towards the late end, from the morning there was long build up and short build up and everything was happening. Something which will be catching our eye is whenever we see like a high volume happening at a particular time, we will always capture that within like an yellow bar indicating that to show that this is what is happening on that particular time frame. Okay, and typically this is the highest volume that got traded, which was between 1430 to 1445. At that time we had like almost an additional OI of like a 24,000, and we had a drop of 35 rupees. But the most important thing is maximum action has happened at this particular zone. And once you see that the shorts are adding up their position, the longs have unwinded their position in a large manner. These are like a positional longs and intraday longs who have been thinking that the Bank Nifty is going to scale up new highs and so on. They have all unwinded the position in huge quantity. And you would be wondering, what is this DLB? What is this DHB, right? DLB is nothing but the day low break. DHB is day high break. Whenever we see that the day low or a day high is getting broken, and that too with a significant volume, then you will always see that particular trend momentum is carrying forward. So in this scenario, when the day low break that happened with the high volume, you can clearly see from 22,859, 22,800 was the like a last traded rate, and then 22,770 and almost closed at 22,650 range. That was the last traded price which got triggered. So we almost lost 200 points with how many minutes? Within 45 minutes. So that is the significant which we are trying to showcase along with this. This is a very significant future. Someone looking for a price action trade along with the OI data, this will definitely help you out. So talking about the OI data, the OI interpretation, we have given four. What are they? One is long buildup, one is short buildup, one is short covering, and one is long unwinding. These are the four quadrants which always we consider. When I talk about long build-up, this is a clear sign of a positions getting created going for long build-up. Someone is trying to buy the Bank Nifty future, thinking that the market is going to go higher, the Bank Nifty future is going to go higher with the volume. But I would like to see when the volume is happening, if there is a chance of like almost 1,66,000 change in OI. This is a combination of both sellers and like what to say in the first 1 hour action, which is like a first 15-minute action which is taking place. Okay, in this scenario, imagine when it is moving higher and with the kind of volume that got created, I would have been happy to see like a 70 or 80 bucks, but not 12 bucks for the kind of long buildup which has been created. Why? Even with the 2,400 quantity of like a long buildup here, you were able to see a price movement of 65. Why? It is purely because some short covering would have happened. Little bit of long buildup is also happening. But ideally, when you're seeing a long buildup of like a huge change in OI, the price has to be pretty significant. If it is not, then you will always see some kind of a selling pressure emerging later. And similarly, when they are building the short position also, we needed to see whether the price is moving significantly lower. Even here, all the days trade were like a pretty significant, not much. But most important trade that happened here is around this. When they are building it higher or lower, always they needed to do it with the volume and the price, right? When you see, even with a small volume, when you are able to bring down such almost like 65 rupees, then it is clearly suggesting that the longs are not even worried whatever the price which you are going to take the market lower. That's the reason, even with a small short buildup, the bears were able to attack the Bank Nifty future. And once they saw that the weakness that the buyers are not coming in, they attacked once again with the volume in this scenario, and they were able to bring down the prices pretty drastically, even with the small volume. Once you see the shorts are aggressively building up their position, what the longs will do, they will tend to take a step back and they will try to unwind their position, booking whatever the losses that they wanted to do it. And that's how you see a significant fall which is happening. Okay, it is in the last 45 minutes. It's not because of like the short buildup, more of a long unwinding. So talking about this, long buildup is creating long position. Short buildup is someone creating a short positions on the future. Short covering is when someone is trying to cover their position. No, I cannot bear this loss. I feel someone would have shorted it like a 22,900, and if he sees the prices going to 22,983, which is almost like a 80-point loss for him, then he will naturally cover his position, and that is how we needed to consider the short covering. And then the last one, which is the long unwinding, when they know they bought it at somewhere around 22,912 and now it is trading at 22,978, he is happy with whatever the 50 or 60 rupee profit and is exiting their position. So on a 15-minute time frame, even if you look at it, the shorts had the control towards the fag end of the day with the volume, and that's the reason you started to see a significant fall. But ideally, to get a trend, the long-term trend, we needed to look at the larger time frame. But on a larger time frame today, the Bank Nifty was little mildly bullish in the first half, but they were not getting the support to carry forward the momentum. These are the high volumes which got like added, right? We should have seen significant high volume in in the follow-up as well. Look at this here. It was like yesterday's date, that is like a 9-7. Even here we didn't had significant long or short build up. It was more or less a sideways day. We will look at 9-4 just to get a clarity. Look at this. After the initial short build up, we didn't see any kind of an like a what to say a long build up was very minimal. Once a long build up were very minimal, you cannot take much of a upside, and it got reflected here. So that's the reason today it was a very significant move wherein the longs were not convincing on the smaller time frame, and they had to quit their position based on this data, nothing else. So even on like a 5-minute data, always try to use 15-minute future chart. That's given huge results for me. So that's the reason we have given different time frames based on that particular time what you can do it. I will always try to use 5-minute to take a trade and 15-minute to analyze whether it is the trend is getting formed on the long or on the short side. And to see a larger time frame, we will be using like 1 hour, that is like a 60-minute time frame. So we needed to see all three factors to combine it. But there are some traders we can use like a 10-minute time frame and also like a 30-minute time frame to get some kind of a clarity. So mostly I will be using 5, 15, and 60. But we have given different things so that like different traders have different attributes to take a trade. You'll be able to use it. This is for Bank Nifty. Similarly, you will be able to see for the Nifty as well. So look at this Nifty. We had a huge long buildup which is happening. But in the afternoon session, once the short started to create a position, look at the volume that got triggered. In the morning, when they were trying to create the long, not much action was happening. But when it is like a long unwinding, the shorts were pretty aggressive and the longs were also like exiting their position. Look at the price action here. Huge price action which has happened. With this kind of a long like unwinding which is happening, it's going to be very difficult for the bulls the following day to take any kind of an confident long build-up, especially in the morning. Okay, so we are going to witness that tomorrow. I'm preparing this video on the 8th, so hopefully by the time you guys see, the actions would have happened, but still I'm saying it to you. So 9th morning, I'm not expecting a major upside based on the data that has been presented on our tool. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so this is done now, unless and until we have some tweet coming from Trump, which is going to push it. And we can also look at like some of the stocks if you wanted it. I will just show for like HDFC Bank. I think this one had a like an pretty fall in the last 130 minutes, and like yeah, it had a huge volume fall actually. So this has also fallen towards the last 30-40 minutes. So overall, it is not extremely bullish, not neither extremely bearish. So whatever the long buildup which got created, they were trying to cover their position. Even the shorts had like a 50% of the positions got covered. But overall, the data looks really bearish. And good thing about our tool is you'll be able to see the volume when the exact price action happened, the maximum. And most importantly, we needed to know what is the like an what is a high volume that got created on 5-minute and 15 minutes as well. Okay, so here we have given the OI. Here we have given the like what to say the day high, the day low, and then the volume that got created on that particular 5 minute or 15 minute or 30 minutes. So this is all about the OI analysis. I've given a detailed brief. More briefs will be given in the commentary session, and we are going to do it along with the other sessions as well. Now we will go into the options OI analysis. So when I clicked on the option Y analysis, here we are given currently only for the Nifty and Bank Nifty. We are not going to give you for the stocks at this juncture. We will see in the future in case if there are any liquidity stocks which need to be added, we will be adding them. So talking about that, I've added Bank Nifty. Look at the Bank Nifty. So currently we can choose any strikes between 21,500 to 24,500. So we have given all the strikes which are like going to be getting traded. You will be able to choose anything. So currently the Bank Nifty traded at like 23,000 in the morning. That was a max pain area. What we have given here is again the same 5, 10, 15 and 30, 60 minutes. And the most importantly, you are seeing the call side data here and then the put side data here. I will look at first 16 minute now. What was happening in the put side in the morning? Since morning, you were seeing significant amount of puts getting like puts being returned aggressively on 23K. Okay, so starting at 350, it went all the way to like a 250 odd, and then it broke like a 256, and then when they see significant amount of short buildup happening, what is that indicating? It is indicating that the shorts are having a huge control on the put side. But the problem is on the call side, we didn't see much of long buildup getting created. That is the most significant impact. It was like a call, like a what to say. If I would have been continuously seeing like a 4 or 5 short buildup, I should have been seeing 4 or 5 long buildup, which didn't happen. If that would have been the case, then the shorts would have felt okay, we can continue to write on the put side, whereas the long buyers are like going on the call side. Unfortunately, it didn't. Around 12:30 to 1:30, you see the longs started to unwind. That is the first signal the longs are giving back to the writers, stating, guys, we are not interested to take market higher, or like I'm not able to take this particular strike price higher. Then seriously the put buyers, like what they would have done, they would be holding their like a breath, right? And as a call writer, like what you will be seeing normally is the volume of open interest which is available there. As a total OI in this scenario, look at this, it is almost 10 lakh. On the other hand, this particular side we have only 3 lakh 75. Okay, as a writer, the first thing which I will be looking at is, I will be looking at where the like a buyers are exiting first. When I see that the buyers are like exiting on the call side, then I will be pouncing on them. Why? Because you have enough volume and more data to suggest, yes, I can write here, and there are like a more number of like open interests available. Then that is something which they will be keenly pouncing upon. And look at the way, once they started to see the long unwinding happening, and look at the way they pounced on it, even with a small volume of short buildup, they were able to write 60. You are showing your weakness. As a buyer, they are showing their weakness. On the other hand, look at the short covering. Once the short covering happening and the short buildup happening on the other side, especially near the max pain area, then you are giving a complete clue to the writers. Yes, we are going to be writing aggressively on the call side, and you guys are happy to take it on the put side. So the shorts, they cover their position and they go and build their positions on the call side. Look at the price drop from 272 to 211, and the most important thing is it fell almost 96 rupees in the last 1 hour. And look at this fall. This is on a 60-minute time frame. But what I would have been happy to do is, I should have seen a significant amount of long buildup happening on a smaller time frame. Let's look at on smaller time frame. Did we see on any of the smaller time frame with a long buildup here? It was purely a short covering move which has happened. On the other hand, the longs have significantly unwinded their position because they have been building their position thinking that the market is going to break. But unfortunately, the shorts who have been building their position, they were happy to see. And the shorts, once they started to cover it on the put side, they were happy to write as much as possible. Okay, this is a combination of both shorts getting written and at the same time longs also unwinding it. That's the reason when you looked at the larger time frame, You didn't see much of like a short buildup here, whereas huge long unwinding happened here with the huge price drop also. So in between that, we needed to identify how these guys are doing it. That is how the decoding the data is very, very important. So on a 15-minute time frame for this, tomorrow the longs are completely like any rise tomorrow morning, you are going to see a sell-off happening. And moreover, the market almost tried to close it at day's high, especially on the 22,000, 23,000 put. So that is clearly suggesting, look at this. Once the shorts are covering their position, they are covering their positions in large quantity. Okay. And look at this. When you are getting the OI coming down pretty drastically, they would be happy to write this, then this. To get a confirmation, what I always do is, it Bank Nifty closed somewhere around 23,600. Okay, 22,600, sorry. We would be looking at all the strikes in that particular range. I will be looking at 20 to 500 very closely to see how these guys have closed it. Look at this. 20 to 500, we started to see a significant short buildup, whereas in 23,000, we saw a long unwinding. So that is a clear indication that the writers are getting ready to write even at 22,500. On the other hand, look at 22,500 put. We are having a huge short covering that is clearly taking the prices from 100 levels to 200 levels, almost double in the last 2 hours. So tomorrow morning, I won't be surprised if we touch 20 to 500 and go below as well, even on a smaller time frame, 15 minutes. Look at what has happened after like a 1 o'clock. It is a completely like a game driven by the shots. Look at this. Even though it was like a slow and steady volume, what was good thing for the shots is they added more volume towards the fag in. This is the data which would give me the confidence to take a overnight position. In case if I'm a writer, I would happily write 20 to 500 call and then take the positions overnight. Even on a 5-minute time frame, if I wanted to trade, I would have said it like seriously looked at this data and still carried forward my shorts towards the day end. So do not be worried about the adjusted closing pricing. If we are getting in gap up opening tomorrow morning, I'm definitely expecting a sell off to be happening. Okay, so this is based on the our data which is available to us, but you may never know what the stock market is going to surprise us. But going by the data, at least we know that the shorts have carried forward the momentum for the night, and it is better makes sense for us to carry it based on the short buildup which got created on the put side. Okay, so here again, I decoded it for Bank Nifty. We will be able to see it for the Nifty as well. If you are looking for 11,400 Nifty, all you needed to do is just select it by the within a minute. You should be able to see the within fraction of seconds. You should be able to see the data, and look at this. This is the data, and we had a huge unwinding which happened here. And look at this short covering. This is tremendous. There is a huge short builder, like a short covering which has happened on the put side. That is going to put more pressure in case if you guys are going to add any kind of an like a what to say short build up tomorrow. The shorts will be literally scared, and this has given the confidence even for the longs. The reason is, look at this. Once a small short build up happen, look at the way the shorts are unwinding their position. So tomorrow is going to be a day wherein you will see the fresh shorts are going to created in the morning on 11,400 call. So 11,400 put, it is at this juncture, it is in a safe zone. The shorts who have covered it, they know for sure I'm not going to create a fresh short because already I have touched it and I have got the pain. I'm not going to do that. Let me not explore anything on the 11,400 put. Guys, this is again an absolute beauty. The reason is, even on a 15-minute time frame, I'm seeing only the short covering happen. But I would have been very glad if one of this is a long build-up, even on a 5-minute time frame. If you would have seen a long build-up somewhere here, that would have given me a lot more, like a big confidence to me. Why? Because that would have definitely told me that the longs have carried forward some positions overnight. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. That's fine. Still, due to this long unwinding and short covering, there you cannot expect like a much of like a long buildup to be happening on the call side, whereas in the morning you can expect the long buildup to be happening on put side. Okay, so let's review the data tomorrow. The same codes here. We have the day low break, the day high break, which we have given it here. You can use it to your advantage. So what we are seeing is the OI analysis. Now we are going to see the OI chart. Okay, when you're clicking on the OI chart, here again, you are going to see on the Bank Nifty. Look at this. You're just selecting the Bank Nifty and then you can choose a strike. We will choose the same 23,000. And then I'm going to try and give the time frame at around 15 minutes. 15 minutes is the ideal way to determine a crossover. Okay, whenever you're getting to see a crossover, the data is purely based on whatever we have seen it in the previous window. Okay, look at this crossover. Once this happens, this is a clear sign of writers gaining control. Why? The writers, once they start gaining control, you will see the OI going higher and higher, and then the price is going lower and lower. But in this scenario, what has happened here? The prices didn't go significantly lower, it started to consolidate. Usually what will be the trend is you will see the prices going pretty fast on the downtick, but it unfortunately didn't happen. Even when it went to a high, the OI went and then, sorry, the price went and then started to climb again. This is the clear sign that the shorts are not able to add any more pressure to take the price lower. And once they started to cover their position, they started to see the prices moving higher. That is a clear sign that the shorts are unwinding their position, and you can clearly see the short covering which is happening and then the price moving higher, which is nothing but the third quadrant. Similarly here, the people were not able to take the market higher, or especially the 23,000 call. What has happened? The OI and the price was like a steadily moving from the morning. They were not able to make a significant crossover. This is a significant crossover. Once you see this kind of a crossover, we needed to see a vertical crossover. If it is happening, then you will be able to make quick bucks. Like imagine even if you would have entered after the crossover at somewhere around here when the price was around 374, and look at this 392 and it closed somewhere around 458. 1% all we are targeting for, this is giving you like a huge returns. Okay, this is what I would be literally hoping for. Okay, and good thing about this particular like a feature is we should be able to see the overall call and put OI analysis as well. In this scenario, from morning we have given like a cumulative data there, and look at this. Slowly but surely the call is red and then the put is blue. And what has happened here? Put was like a mode, and then slowly but surely towards the fag end, whatever the put riders who were there, they were unwinding their positions pretty significantly. So that is clearly suggesting more number of call writers have taken the positions home compared to the put writers. So tomorrow morning you're going to see like more of like an any sell on rise market, and that is going to play out. So we should be able to see for both Nifty and Bank Nifty. But here we have given some zoom option in case someone wanted to know when you're looking at like a larger time frame. You're looking at like a larger time frame and you wanted to zoom the data. All you needed to do is just select that and then like a zoom it. You will be able to zoom at the close, like what has happened for that particular strike at that particular level. So you should be able to zoom and zoom. You can as long as like you wanted it. All you needed to do is just restore the zoom. It will go back to the original size. And here again, we have given a line chart for the people who use line, and you can also use the bar chart in case if you wanted to see it in the bar. Okay. The next one is you can restore the chart to the normal size. And some of you wanted to save the image. All you needed to do is just click on that and you will be able to save the image as well. Okay, so this is the call OI analysis and put OI analysis of a particular strike, and you should be able to see the other data as well. So similarly for the Nifty, you can look at for 11,400, and we are looking at the 60-minute time frame. Usually, like I will always look at the data in a 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame always given us the best results. Even once the crossover has happened, look at this. Even if you'd have entered here at like 3 o'clock, from 106 it went to 125 and closed at like 137, and almost like a 30-40 rupee move within like 30 minutes. So this is the reason we always use this chart for the crossover trades. Okay, crossover trades will also be very like important, but we always needed the crossovers to be happening and then a vertical rise on the OI, vertical profile on the price. We don't want the consolidation to happen. If it is consolidating, that is clearly suggesting us at lower levels the buying is emerging, and that's the reason these guys are not able to take the market lower. And at the same time, on the call side, even though the crossover happened here, did we see a similar kind of a crossover to take the market higher? No, it didn't happen. In that scenario, then we needed to fall back and wait for the right opportunity, and this was a perfect opportunity. Someone like experienced player, they would have started to play here itself because they know the trend is reversing. But for like a freshers who are just looking for it, always look for the crossover and then try to do a normal buy, like when you're seeing this kind of a data. That's what I would do. Okay, so I'm not suggesting you needed to do it, but you can observe it and then take based on what you see. Okay, great. This is on that. The next one is the OI statistics. Okay, here again, what we have done is we have given a cumulative OI. Considering this is not in the live market, I'm not able to populate the data, but in the live market, you should be able to get the data available to you, and it will give you a complete glance of the cumulative OI data. Now we will be looking at the option chain data. This is again will be available purely during the live market, because these are the data which is very crucial for the live market. As in when we do a video, we will be able to show you the live market data as well. But we have made it in such a simple way wherein we have given the OI change, the volume, and then the IV. The IV will available on the expiry day as well, and last traded price, last traded change price, and what is a strike, similarly for the put as well. One of the additional features which we have given is we have given the PCR ratio also for the individual strikes here. These are the features which will be available during the market hours. So that's the reason it is not available post market, because we wanted to give you the real-time data, because you needed to know how much premium and so on. We will be doing a separate video to show you the statistics, chain, option premium, and multiple OI chart. We will do a separate video and release it sooner. This is again an add-on feature which we guys have been giving it to all of you. So choosing this, when I see this the multiple OI chart, you will be able to add multiple OI. So currently, if you see that the Bank Nifty is trading somewhere around 22,800, and you wanted to see for like 4 or 5 strikes above and below, just add all of them. You can add as many you want. We have added 10 strikes here, and it will be showing you the trend and the path of each of these strikes and where exactly at each minute actually. So it is a minute by minute. Someone who's looking for like a minute by minute action, you should be able to see the data getting captured here. And the most important thing is, if you don't want to see a particular data, all you needed to do is just click on the bottom here. It will automatically pull the data out, and as and when you wanted to add it, you can just click on them. You should be able to see it pretty quick. So the data will get populated pretty quick. Here again, we have given the zoom option and other things. So someone who is looking to like a zoom the particular data on a particular interval, look at this. I can zoom it further and further and get the data out. So 1224, 1225, and what is exactly happening at every minute and tick, we should be able to see the data out. And you can use the restore zoom, and you can use the restore chart. It will completely restore the data. And you can also save the image as we did it. So this is for the multiple OI. And if you don't want it, just click on remove, and it will automatically remove all the strikes. And if you wanted to add, you can add it at a later time. So it is very easy to use functionality, nothing to be like a cribbing about. And moving on to that, the next one is the WIX and the index. This is again a very crucial factor in case if you guys are using the WIX versus the Nifty, because that is one of the connecting dots for us. From the morning, after the initial crossover happening, the WIX started to move lower, and then the index started to move higher, right? But it was not able to scale up beyond a point. And in the afternoon, we started to see the price coming down, and then the WIX started to climb. This is not a good sign. And the people who have attended my webinar, they know it, how we needed to decode the WIX. The first crossover happened here, Okay, and then the second crossover, even at like 1450, along with combining with the other crossovers, if we would be taking the data based on this particular move, look at this exactly at 3 o'clock. Once that crossover has happened, look at the way the VIX has climbed, and then the VIX climbed from almost 22 levels to 22.7, and it went to all the way to 23, and the price dropped from almost 11,355 to 311, and then 3295. So it's very, very vital to use the crossover. That's the reason we have included the crossovers also for Nifty. Though the volatility index is for the Nifty, we have also combined it because for sometimes the, like what to say, the financials are the major weightage in the Nifty, and that's the reason we have also shown a separate chart for Bank Nifty, because there will be days wherein the Bank Nifty would be like acting weird compared to Nifty, and we wanted to see how it is going to be providing the tool the data. So we have added it for the test, and we will be showcasing the results as well. So here again, we have given all the features which is going to be user friendly for all of you. And in case if you wanted to see how the VIX has been faring in the past, you should be able to have the historical data as well, which we have given it here. These are the days I'd like you to avoid completely as a buyer. The reason is when it is going to be like a range bound day, when the VIX is like so erratic, you will see the moves happening on both the sides. Okay, so that is going to be very, very difficult for you to take a trade based on VIX. So try to avoid on those. When you're having a clear cut move like this crossover, then you're going to see like a significant move. In this scenario, look at this. The VIX is the red line. How it is falling, more it is falling, you're going to see the more the rise on the Bank Nifty or the Nifty. This is on 9.2. So here, look at this 9.1, and you will be able to see and be amazed on all the days. If you wanted to know how the VIX has been traveling, these are the days wherein you're not going to see much of moves happening. So it is very vital to see all these data. And people who are wondering how I can subscribe to this tool and so on, go on the plan page. Soon we will be launching the plans, and you will be able to subscribe using this particular page. And most importantly, once you like a rollout, and once you join a particular plan, you'll be able to see your profile settings, and you'll be most importantly able to see your, like in the settings, you'll be able to see and how you can change your passwords and so on. And most importantly, let's look at this plan billings. Here we have given the plan billing, which with the dates as well. So someone's, if you're starting for a 5-day validity period where it is getting ended, and what is the amount that you got paid, and in case we are given some complimentary plan, which you will be able to see how many days validity and when it will start and when it will end. On top of it, if you purchased another plan, it will also show you the validity on when it will get topped up. On 14th you will have a new plan, and the current plan will get expired only on the 13/10. So you'll be able to see the entire data on when your plan and everything is going to be there. And in case if you feel that you needed to like contact us for any particular query on anything, you can always reach out to us at like support@oipulse.com, and we will be happy to help you out in terms of our tool and our guidance. Soon we will be releasing a manual in the website which will help you to understand and like go through each and every scenarios which is in the works, which we will be doing it pretty soon. As a disclaimer, please go through this. We will not be responsible for any of your trading decisions or any of your profit and loss or any of this. Tool is primarily designed to help to understand how the things shape out. So sometimes these are tools which are like we are getting the information from the third party, and we will not be responsible for any of your like a losses or profit. So please do take proper care and take a proper trading decisions based on your trading advisor. And as in company, we will not be responsible for your profit or loss if you are taking any decisions based on this particular tool, because the no matter what, no information is going to be 100% reliable. We are also depending on the third party access, and whatever the information that we are getting at, we are trying to like a decode and share the information with you all. And we are not a SEBI registered advisor, and we will not be responsible for your trading profit or losses if we use our charts and data for trading. Thank you all so much. Hope you guys would have liked our video. So please start using OI Pulse. That is going to be the pulse of the market, wherein you'll be able to feel the pulse of the market completely and decode it. Look at the way the Dow futures is falling now. So I'm expecting some more downfall to be continuing tomorrow morning. Let's hope that the fall is going to be there based on the data. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day and see you again in another video on how you can maximize your benefits using the OI Pulse. Thank you all so much.